And folks, if you're looking for a great show, you're saying, I don't know what show to listen to. Stop listening to Fox News and start listening to Patriot Strong Podcast. Stop listening to fake media and Newsweek and Newsmax and start listening to the Patriot Strong Podcast. Make it your daily mission to listen to this podcast and share it with your friends. Thank you so much, Courtney. Have a great day.
Hi, friends. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Patriot Strong Podcast. Still working on my audio and lighting, but I have a great message for you today from one of my dear friends, Sharon Kaslika. She is doing amazing, amazing things for her community in Utah, and I can't wait to welcome her to the stage so she can share a little bit more about herself and what she has put together and what has spread to other states. Sharon, thank you so much for joining the Patriot Strong Podcast.
Hi, Mama. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
I am so grateful for everything that you've been doing. I know that you share so much, and it's really had a ripple effect, which goes back to General Flynn's first statement: a local impact makes a national impact, and it's really, really, really true. Or local action makes national impact. Sorry, but it's true. Like, you've started something locally in your area, and you've had so many people kind of join your community and your project, and it's doing great things. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about what's going on with that. I know that you shared with me a little bit before about some interesting, amazing opportunities that are happening. So I know that my audience would love to hear them as well.
I am so grateful. Thank you, Courtney. And thank you for all that you do. I know that the Holy Spirit connected us. I'm just saying, because we know how this works. So thank you. Thank you. Yes, we've been getting quite a bit of traction now, finally. I was kind of ready to give up for a while. The concept is called Community Thinking Tank, and we're running it here in Utah Community Thinking Tank. And our tagline is give 5 hours to your neighbors in need, and we'll change the world by doing good deeds. So, Courtney, I just want you and your audience to imagine that if each and every one of us around the entire world, 12 and older, donated 5 hours a month to our local community and humanitarian projects. I'm not talking the big ones, like that's not what we're doing. Could you imagine how quickly we could help the people suffering right in our own backyards? And it's free. And this is a community where anyone and everyone who feels this, I want to encourage you to start your own community thinking tank in your own city and state. Long version is, the short version is it's not a business. So many people have tried to bring people together, and you've got to pay and subscribe and all that. And it's kind of similar to groups on Facebook, where they have something in your own local community, but there's too many Karens and everyone's like, no, this is totally different. It's people putting their politics aside and doing the right thing and helping the people that are suffering in a judgment-free zone. That's the focus. That's it.
I love that so much. And you've done something, I swear, it seems almost every weekend with this group and with your community, or there's always, events coming in like, hey, if you're local to this is what we're doing here. And I absolutely love that so much.
Thank you. And also what we're doing is we're really starting to focus. I want the audience to simply imagine this. What if you could start a new group in your community where people come together and imagine just donating that 5 hours a month. It's going to be a ripple effect. But also, we all know that fake news is fake news, and those corporations are going to die off. Why not start your own news broadcast within these groups that everyone can connect in, that people can interview each other on different topics? This is how you engage people. And I'm going to be honest, Courtney, at first, I feel that so many people are so used to being told what to do. A lot of people weren't grasping that concept, what I just said, because who knows our own city and town better than the people? You're not getting that information from your local news. You're lucky if you get one story. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I feel like everything that we do see through mainstream media is absolutely manipulated. Everything that's on social media is manipulated. So we only
Like
get
the
a
Katy
little
Perry.
bit. Oh my gosh. That
Don't make
entire
me pee my
story.
pants.
Oh my gosh, that entire story. It was so absolutely ridiculous.
11
And did you
minutes. Was it 11 minutes or something? I'm like, wow, that's
like
impressive.
40 something seconds? And then have you seen the video whenever like they accidentally opened the door
And
before
this pull, yes.
the door? And then there's the pictures going around of like the mannequins, like clearly a mannequin arm and hand in the window. Like you guys cannot seriously believe that
So,
just happened.
but it's so
Oh my
funny
gosh.
that central casting, that term that President Trump uses all the time, this is the final ending. Like they're showing people, we're showing you how fake is. And if you
And
really believe that, that shows how deeply programmed you are.
so
And
I
you
got
don't
in
want
like
to
in an
outside the
argument.
box.
I got in an
Oh,
argument, like, or a conversation, not an argument, with somebody, and they're like, it was so real. Like, Katie held a flower, and it looked like this. I'm like, flowers stand up. And then they're like,
don't.
and she held a butterfly, and it looked like this. I'm like, you guys, like, I don't know what I'm missing here. Like, how are people that veiled that they're not seeing the, like, it didn't even look real at all.
It didn't at all. It reminds me now. I love that you're saying this, Courtney, because think about when they landed on the moon and you look at that footage now, you're like, oh my gosh, that looks like that old show, Lost in Space. And it looks so fake. And it's like, come on, people. Like, can you be a little open-minded to think that something bigger is happening and you know the world's falling apart and this and that? Like, I'm going to the best of times. I'm not staying in the worst of times. Ugh, you know? Uh-uh.
Oh my gosh,
It's
yeah,
just
no.
so funny. And I
Like,
did
like
some good codes on that too, though. On that, did you notice on the side of their whatever they want to call it, shuttle
New
or
sheep.
whatever, it said New Shepherd on the side, and I did decodes on that.
Yeah,
It's pretty
you'll have
funny.
to tell me.
Can I read them to you real quick?
Yeah,
I'll read them to you
absolutely.
real quick. Okay,
Yeah,
hold on.
the show's for you.
Oh.
So absolutely.
No, you're silly. Hold on, because Mickey, she posted it here. Okay, you ready? So when people go and look, see, they're seeing who's paying attention, and this is exactly what central casting is it's just like a movie within a movie, and I find it brilliant because that's the art of war. But it says so on the side of it, it said New Shepherd. When you think of shepherd, right? It says New Shepherd equals 113. This Is It equals 113. Utah Jazz equals 113. And I live there. Captain Kirk equals 113. Biden Trials equals 113. Apocalypse equals 113. The Creator equals 113. Secret Plan equals 113. Worldwide equals 113. Jubilation equals 113. Debt forgiveness equals 113. Sweet home equals 113. Angelic host equals 113. Where is God equals 113. Clash of the Clans equals 113. This Is It. They put that in there a lot. This Is It equals 113. Read script equals 113. Westward equals 113. Plotting equals 113. I love it. Okay, I digress. I just had to share that.
No, you're so
that's
fine.
how
Oh
my
my
brain works. It's just how it works. I'm like, it, like it just doesn't shut off. And I know God gave me this
you're
gift
so
along with
fine.
so many others. I love it.
And we just kind of spoke about. I know we're nowhere near halfway through, but I'll share it again. But the artist of that magazine I was telling you about earlier, he's on Michael Maroney, the Commander's artist. So I'm gonna plug the magazine really fast while he's watching.
Oh, I love it. Do it.
Because we were just talking about how mainstream media and social media filters everything, every speck of information that we learn. One thing that does not is Andrew magazine. This is an older copy. The new copy is amazing.
That's Kirk Cameron. I used to have a crush on him in Growing Pains. Like every girl, I'm like, ooh, there's curcumin.
I'll show some of the ones that I have up here. John took a lot of them to work because people at our work are starting to get interested in it because we bring in them like all the time.
Smart.
But it is America's
That's
magazine, MAGAZINE magazine.
That's a
People's
good
Voice.
one. You're already
Look,
coding.
Look, it is not me. This is all him. He has amazing marketing. But it's magazine, capital MAGA dash zine. America's Voice. They are full of amazing, incredible articles. I don't know if you're familiar with John Chambers. He writes for them sometimes. A handful of just amazing people that are sharing the actual truth. Stories that you're not going to hear from anywhere else. History lessons.
Ooh.
They have recipes. They have patriot businesses that are in here. Cardio Miracle. LifeWave is another one that I've seen in here. It's just
Is that
amazing.
little patch? Is that little patch? Yeah. Oh, okay. I have some friends that really swear by those. I'm like, cool. That's awesome. Hey, you should tell them about my concept with the community thinking tanks. We could change everything.
He's watching right now. If you're still watching, Michael, you guys can connect to LifeWave. But you guys, it's just an amazing, incredible magazine, bi-monthly, but it's so worth it. And the artwork, hold on, let me just go through these again. The artwork on these are incredible. And the more that you look at it, the more that you see the little details, the little hidden details that Michael puts
I was just thinking that was a synchronicity. I was just thinking that in my head. I'm like, I got to go decode and look at those.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They're trying to share you. Oh, I love General Flynn.
My friend, and I know that you know him too, Nino.
Yeah. He so reminds me of my brother. Him and I need to do a show. We bounce off really well off each other.
This one's really funny. This was January of 24.
Oh, you're going to have to take screenshots after it. I got to code some of those.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I just wanted to share that, you guys. Again, the link is scrolling down at the bottom if you want to take a look at the magazine, if you want to get your own subscription. Just use that code. You can screenshot it whenever the ticker is in the middle, so you get the entire website, or I'll put it in
get a discount
in the comments right now. I don't know if there's a discount or not.
Okay.
But it is an incredible publication. The best, literally the best read that I've ever came across, and I highly recommend it to everybody. So
I love it. Can I just add something to that?
Yeah, no,
I
absolutely.
love what you said is bringing it into work, because everyone sits in the cafeteria at work or whatever, and they're bored. Yes. When they see something like that, it's like, and it might just be something that catches their eye. Like, I never thought of it like that. Yeah. I think that's cool.
Absolutely.
I love it. Sweet.
So back to your Utah Community Thinking Tank. Everything that you're doing right now. I'm going to throw the ball back in your court.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, we also have one going on in Florida as well, which is amazing. They're doing amazing things. And basically what we're doing is, posting in a lot of local groups within a state going, hey, are you tired of seeing everyone suffering? Everyday people are joining this group, donate 5 hours, and honestly, we've been told our entire lives that teamwork makes the dream work. And there's a lot of people that aren't participating. And it's almost becoming kind of contagious here in Utah now. Like, oh my goodness gracious, can I just share this with you? Remember I sent you about the woman. So basically what we're doing in the community thinking tank too, that is a big part of it, is that we are encouraging a lot of the local humanitarian causes and so forth to join the group, to share their events of giving back and where people can find them and where they're going to set up and things that they could use, so that our everyday members can pick and choose what resonates with them, animal rescues, helping the homeless veterans, the list goes on and on. So what I'm going to be working on is, we just met in the park last weekend, and God planted this in my mind, is starting to grab a lot of little video clips from a lot of the humanitarian projects that we're working with and turning it into something fun and putting little movie clips in and so forth. And because I feel like the ones that are on your corporate fake news, they're definitely trying to share, but at the same time, it's missing that oomph, like, let's all do it. We could do this together. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm going to try to, I'm not going to say try. I am going to put that together. And then the rest of our group members are going to start sharing that episode like a news channel, like what you're doing here, in a lot of the fake book groups and so forth to find the others. So I'm really excited about that because our goal is that a lot of these smaller humanitarian projects have been working really, really hard on the back end because they're seeing the need and they're not seeing other people step up. For instance, my friend Renee out here with Showers of Hope, I've been helping her since last summer. Now we're finding her members, people that are like, I love what she's doing and so forth. And it's just getting bigger and bigger. And one of the other causes we work alongside of, and people, you will love this group, Candace Ann, her brother, Ben, she lost him to an overdose, and he just sounded like such a great guy. And, you know, she's working full time, and her life is all about this. And we're all bouncing our ideas off of each other and so forth. And we're all working together. For instance, think of how Team Jesus works. Okay, guys, listen to this. So Candace, one of her friends, entered her into a drawing from a place in Montana, wedding prom. Is it wedding boutique or wedding prom dresses boutique in Montana? And they're retiring. And the owners wanted to give it to a cause so that they could use the monies to build up what they're doing. And clearly they scanned Candace and what she's doing with BK Outreach. So on Sunday, she's receiving 600 wedding dresses.
Oh
And talk
my
about,
God.
so listen to this, Courtney. So my friend Tracy Chris Lurvy back in New Hampshire, we did a local TV show on the local news network in Merrimack, New Hampshire, the Tracy and Sharon show. So I feel like I've kind of been prepped through the Holy Spirit on this, but she is the one that got me into being a pageant judge. And at first I was like, they're all a bunch of little snobby snobs or whatever. But I'm really glad I kept an open mind, because what I found was that a lot of these young women, I'd say it's probably like 60% of the good girls, 40, whatever. But they use it as a platform because their parents don't have the money to send them to college. So these girls end up creating a platform that they're a cause that they're passionate about and so forth. But talk about divine timing. So I'm like, so Candace is like, I don't know what to do with these dresses. I'm like, I got to reach out to Tracy because she's got all the contacts all over the country. So she used to have her own boutique store. Being a pageant mom, she knew all of the moms in New England and up and down the coast and so forth. So I messaged her yesterday and she's like, Sharon, one of my friends could end up just buying all of them for her boutique. And I'm like, could you even imagine? Some of those dresses are like $5,000 and so forth. So Candace's plan is that she's going to end up, and she's very by the book with her cause and so forth. So if any of you are listening out there, she's going to use all that monies to make supplies and goodie bags for all the other humanitarian projects going on here in Utah. And so that she can pay it forward and all to, remember her brother and how he's watching over her. And so these are the type of people I'm working alongside of, and they're bad, and they're kind and they're fearless. And Craig, the guy you posted that video of me interviewing him in the
please
car.
tell about that, because that's one of my gosh, one of my very life goals is to make enough money to be able to do that for the less fortunate, for the homeless.
Me too.
And
the
animals.
Oh my gosh.
And the animals.
Yes,
also that.
Poor babies.
Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my light while you're here. Your beautiful self is here right now because my lighting is really bad. But go ahead, please share about that, because I watched that video and it just touched me. Like, oh my gosh, it touched my heart.
I'm
and
so
he's incredible. So please talk about what the BK outreach
Yeah,
and all of
yeah.
that, please.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, so if I can just explain real quick to the audience that I moved from a small town in New Hampshire. So I grew up in Merrimack, New Hampshire, and I moved really far to the next town called Amherst, New Hampshire. And the only time I ever really saw homelessness was when you would drive into Manchester. Along the Merrimack River, you'd see people set up in tents and so forth. But it was nothing like here. When I moved here, Courtney, the epidemic now is people looking the other way. Seriously. Because when you drive down in downtown Salt Lake City, people, they're just multiplying. And I like to share with the audience is that, think about this. The last few years have been so rough on people, inflation and so forth. And so many people just don't understand that a lot of the people we've interviewed through the homeless were just like us. Were just like us. And here's what I mean. They lost their good paying job, can't find another one. Oh, but their car and their family cars are leases and they have a mortgage and they lose everything. They don't have much of a savings and so forth. And that's how a lot of this can start. Also out here in Utah, there is a lot of sexual abuse. There's a lot of dysfunctional families. I won't go into detail about that, but it really could happen to anyone. So last weekend, I ended up going and helping out and volunteering with some of our friends to help BK Outreach. And what they do is they bring warm food. They get volunteers that like to cook and bake and so forth. And they get clothing donations and shoes and a lot of the hygiene products, water and so forth. So when I was there, I'm like, Craig, I got to see what you do. And so what they do is Craig and some others, they will take some of those supplies and they go around in certain areas where they know a lot of the homeless are. And he just simply asked them, if you watch the video, you know, I learned a lot. And my point is that I wanted to change the stigma of everyone like, oh my gosh, don't look at them. They're bad people,
Right.
you know? And I'm like, what a bunch of losers. And I'm going to say it. That is a loser mentality that you got deeply programmed in
Yes.
turning your back on God's children. Do I understand that there are people in the parks and homeless that do drugs? Yes, but there's a lot of them that don't. So I'm encouraging people to keep an open mind and stop judging people and let's all do the right thing. But what they do is, so we both had a mic on. I just wanted to make sure people knew because I wanted him to go out and I wasn't about to flip the camera around. I wanted to keep an eye on him. And all they do is they roll down their window while they're driving by and they're like, have you eaten today? And a lot of them will be like, no. I mean, they run into so many people who have not even eaten in 3 days. And I just want to share this with the audience because this is what I have learned is the everyday person, they're like, they just need to get a job. They need to clean themselves up. They need to get their guys. When we talk about these people have hit rock bottom because a lot of their family and friends could not support them and so forth. And a lot of it doesn't even have to do with drugs. They just don't support them. There's a lot of people leaving the Mormon church for sexual abuse just on the download. So people know. And I think to myself, oh my gosh, like to have to hold that inside and finally share that with your family and your friends and the church. And what I have found is, and I don't mean any disrespect to the members because I think there's so many good members, but I feel like they're so deeply programmed that they tell them to turn their back on them when they leave the church. And I'm like, you ain't getting into the pearly gates because Jesus is watching and he's going to have a problem with that. I mean, think about that. Like, think about how devastating that would be. Not only were you sexually abused and whatever has happened to you, they turn their back on you when you need them the most. And that's where I get passionate. I'm like, I feel like a lot of people are realizing that the corporate church is dying and faith is flying. And we're all one.
Yes.
There's no religion that's better than the other. I just try to live by the golden rules and that's it. And I think that's what we all need to just focus on and help those that are suffering because If everyone focused that 5 hours a month, do you know how much fun we would all be having? It's almost like a beautiful way for people to get reconnected again, because ever since the pandemic and everything, everyone's like this. They're all separated. They think that texting is like communication. I'm like, no, like start having, barbecues and picnics and get the kids involved. And even the children, I think about this, Courtney, like the teenagers, they're our future, and the kids. They could turn their own community thinking tank in their city and state around the world into their own podcasts and talk about productive things, positive things. Like, it's our one opportunity. And I've had people ask me, they're like, well, what's different about this than other like communities? Courtney, I want your audience to think about this. What I am looking to do has never been done before. And what I mean by that is it's just everyday people that feel this, that can set up their own community thinking tank in their own city and town, anywhere in the world. It takes less than 10 minutes. Boom, 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 copy, paste, boop, start. And just start adding your people and be like, hey, Betty, invite your top 40 people or whatever. And that's how you start it. You find the doers that feel this, that want to see change. They want to see changes in the school district. They want to see the change in people not looking the other way anymore. And what I think about this is that if someone's looking to move anywhere, think of the power of the people, just like the John Lennon song where he's like, imagine there's no country, all of that. Mm-hmm. If you think of it in duality, it's our one opportunity where everyone can, when they're starting to plant their ideas and start doing things in their communities that are working, all you have to do is do a hashtag on community thinking tanks of ideas and so forth. And we're all around the world can learn from each other. And we can also use it to get a message across worldwide on like a worldwide prayer. Think about it. That is how you bring people together. And it's not a business. And anyone and everyone that participates can be a part of something that feels good. And if they have a business or if they are looking to grow something that's made in America and so forth, like that's your opportunity right there. Boom.
And I really love that because, giving back does make you feel so good.
It does.
It's like, oh my gosh, it just, I don't know how to describe it, but it just,
I agree. Yeah. I agree. If I could have $1 gazillion, I'd make sure everyone, I wish I could do this kind of stuff all day long and just give to the people we need. But I also feel like, yes, let's work on the people that are suffering and so forth, but connect with the people in the group that are like-minded so that it's a judgment-free zone, because it's called thinking tank, because it's not one person, it's a collective to share their ideas without judgment so that they can start working on the actual solutions instead of something temporary. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. And I love that you clarified that. I did put think tank, so I will change that too, because it makes so much more sense and it's so much more inclusive of everybody involved, whether than just singling out one person or one person's ideas. Yeah. But I absolutely love what you're doing.
Thank you. And there's no Karens. That's the rule. If someone every once in a while wants to post something on either side on politics and so forth, what we are setting the tone is everyone being a class act and realizing that we all got duped and now it's time for us to come together. And if you don't like what someone is saying, just scroll on by and be careful when you judge someone, because that's another thing. We've all been programmed to label people like a conspiracy theorist and a MAGA person. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you don't want America to be great again? Like I like to spin it on people, but this is not the place. We are trying to come together. Finally, just like all your songs and music and so forth, we haven't done it yet. And I feel like this is the way to do it. And I love the idea of thinking of towards the end of the year when people get these groups going. I want to encourage you, if this resonates with you, please go to Community Thinking Tank on Facebook and look at the quick instructions and start your group. Just don't overthink this process. Just do it because you're going to find the right people. And then that's what gets the momentum going. And eventually we're all going to start posting like from the Oh God and Oh God 2 especially Oh God 2. Everyone, I want to encourage you to revisit that movie because I love to decode. And they're telling you things that were happening then, and it's a representation of now. And Oh God 2, I think I've mentioned this to you before, Courtney, where John Denver was in the first, and this is actually how I came up with this concept. I'm like, everyone is overthinking everything. Why can't we just make it simple, include everyone, and we just start working on our local communities? Like people can start growing more vegetables in their gardens and then put them out so that no one in your city goes hungry. And so it's simple things like that people are just not buckling down and focusing. Does that make sense?
You know, one of the things that we have in our community, we have a lot of like roadside stands for like veggie stands and everything. A lot of them are honor system. We have a community vegetable garden that just started, I think, in 2020 or 2021, and it's grown so much, and I absolutely love it.
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
That's so great. And are you seeing so many more people just by doing things like that? They're actually having talk from outside of their phones and online. Like they're starting to just kind of interact more like we were built to be. We're not supposed to be behind AI. That's kind of creepy when you think about it.
Right. And not only that, but it's also like that kind of inspires everybody else. We have a farm stand that's up the road, and this girl sells sourdough, like bread and
good.
starters and everything. So then it like kind of gets the community interested and back to the basics, back to homesteading, back to all of these things. I really just love like the direction that I feel we're moving.
Tell her about creating a community thinking tank and she could get the ball rolling and find the others. I would love, can I encourage you to add something to it? Is start encouraging people to donate their backyards. If they don't want a garden, let some of the volunteers from their community thinking tank, you know, as long as they're not going through their house, let them go in and then they can harvest it. And so that no one, like, it's those little things that people just need to, you know.
This is for you. My friend Rhonda said I would really love to talk to her more about this and if there's something that I can do in my area or wherever needed. I know there's more to my business than just making and selling stuff.
I would love that. Rhonda, if you want to send me a private message, I would love to talk to you. I love to see, this is what I love, Courtney, is I love talking to like-minded people that are open to being open, that can feel something instead of always being like, I'm too busy. And like, if you're too busy to get involved in your community, there's something wrong and you need to fix it. You need to fix your schedule. You need to start being more present with your time. Maybe stop scrolling on and eating bonbons and stuff and scrolling on your phone and get involved. Like, we'll all be healthy again. We'll all be active again. So yes, Rhonda, I would love that. I have a funny feeling her and I'll get along well. I love it. And I'm meeting so many amazing people. Oh, goody. Yeah,
you guys will love each other. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know this was kind of a last minute thing, but I'm so thankful for your time and for everything that you're doing. So I'm going to put you in solo mode one more time. Last thoughts, where people can find you. And then I would love to come back on a duo screen and you end our show in prayer.
Okay. So where people can find us is I'm actually getting ready to update a lot of the videos on communitythinkingtank.com. I uploaded some quick short videos. They're kind of a little bit older and dated, but they're quick and they get the ideas across so that your audience can kind of get a feel and a vibe of how we can all do this for free and all be included. They can also join our community thinking tank on Facebook. And if they are in the Utah area or they know someone, we have the Utah Community Thinking Tank. And we also have one in Florida. So they can look up Community Thinking Tank in Florida. My dear friend, Casey, she's the one that actually came up. We were trying to come up with a slogan type of a thing. And she's the one because she likes to rhyme in Jesus's word. And she's just so sweet. And she's the one that came up with our new tagline of give 5 hours a month to your neighbors in need, and we'll change the world by doing good deeds.
I really love that. And I have a funny story about her specifically. She and I have never met, obviously. We met through you. I was on a podcast maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, was one of the co-founders of the company Gibson Go. He was
Gibson Go. Okay.
Jason Wells, I believe. And they actually went to high school together. She had jumped on the podcast. She's like, oh my gosh, I went to high school with him. That's so funny. What a small world.
Stop it. I see all the synchronicities and the signs are happening. And I would love to share with the audience, Courtney, because I know you and I have talked on the phone about this stuff. And what I love is that let's be done with the term woohoo, because now we are learning that that is another label. Let's be done with labels. And when people can feel things and hear things, the best way I can explain in the Holy Spirit speaking through us is, and I don't like the term woohoo that has been labeled upon the people that have left some type of corporate church because they know they're, anyhow. My point is that, and I love to say this and share this with everyone, is it is scientifically proven that we all have the Christ laminin DNA within us.
Yes.
That is your intuition. That is where you're getting it from. That is like, now I would love to know from your viewers here, right now, are you getting more synchronicities like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking of them like 5 minutes ago and they texted me? Or, you know, like what you said, where your friend and Casey's like, oh my God, like that stuff is happening and this is real. We are in the Great Awakening. It's exciting and you can do what you want with it. And I'm on Team Jesus. So.
And you know, something playing off of that, I watched this reel a few days ago. I'm sure that you've seen it, and you were talking about like the God cell, like it's on our DNA. His actual name, name, Yahweh. But whenever what is it? YW, what is it? Help me out. I can't think of it. But how you would say that was like the sound of you breathing, like your very first breath.
I've heard something along that.
Your very last breath.
As long as it's going in the rapture and like harvest, I'm like, cool. I tell Jesus all the time.
Like it was such, like I seen that and I had to watch it like 2 or 3 times. And like I just started like crying and bawling, like, oh my gosh.
It's real.
Like, that's so right. And it goes back to the mRNA, the saRNA that they're trying to do right now with your flu shots and everything. And I don't want to get too sidetracked on this. We can do this and like a roundtable kind of show, but forever has been a spiritual warfare. And I think that's been more prominent in the last few years. Good versus evil. It is right versus left, blue versus red, but it's good versus evil, and you're either on the side of God or you're not, and that's what it boils down to.
I agree. That was so beautifully said, Courtney, because honestly, we all realize that, like you said, there's good versus evil, but people can't comprehend that it's really happening, and they think that they can think for themselves, and we can, but without all that junk and the program and the labels and the division, because that was the plan. And I love what you said about the those and all that, because when people have that aha moment, like this is really what was over, maybe I should never have taken that, oh my gosh, what did I do? They're gonna start reaching out to people like us, because that makes sense. I remember when they came out with those DNA and your ancestry and this and that. I remember from day one, I'm like, this sounds kind of creepy. I don't know why. And this was years ago. And now it makes sense, because like everything else they do, they doctor things up, and just like their commercials with their paid actors, when like they're like, it may cause death, an embolism, your face could go like whatever, but it's gonna cure your headache, you know, like, hello people, that's programming and you fell for it. And we're praying for you to understand that that is what, so basically I think the way that I like to explain it is when they started with those type of companies, you know, like we all have read, and there's a reason why they ended up making movies and TV shows and so forth about burning of witches and ransacking people's homes under the king and queen and taking things and all that and what have you. Like, we're just in a different time and place where now evil was like, we got this. They're like, we're gonna like disguise it, and we're gonna have them come to us so we can look through their DNA and see who has the original Rh negative Christ bloodline and all that. It's just creepy.
One of the shows that John and I watch almost regularly is The X-Files. And every, like, we'll watch something, and like John has seen them, of course, like he's seen them all 100 million times, and he is like obsessed with everything.
I love it.
But like we'll watch an episode, or I'll watch an episode for the first time when he is watching it, and like something will happen that can relate to like the last 10 years ish, and I'll just like look at him. He's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
I love it. Did they just say
like,
that?
Oh my
like
gosh.
they're saying now? I know. That's how my brain works now too. I mean,
like,
it's literally
it's kind of really, really creepy, like how relatable it is, or how relatable some of these movies have become.
Every single one of them.
Oh
Every
my
single one. Right? I love the way his brain
Woo!
thinks. That's awesome. But see, people, I would love to encourage your audience and people catching this in the future is, what does the President Trump's famous lines, whether you love him or hate him, he's like, the ending won't be for everyone. Where we go one, we go all. And I think he says like it was either 1 or 2% of the population will not make it. It's because this is the art of war. They only created, I firmly believe that Team Jesus and Team Lucifer came up with a pact to come up with entertainment so that they could put their Ponzi's like commercials and all that. I mean, look at it. Like 65% of your commercials
the entertainment
now,
industry, the music industry, the Super Bowl commercials, the Super Bowl halftime shows.
Everything. Like they literally came up with this so that when the truth is told, this is called the art of war, that people can go back to their entertainment with an open mind instead of sitting there going with their popcorn and bonbons. Like, there's more to it. And that is what is going to open a lot of people's eyes, because this is truly the art of war, of good versus evil. And when we can get our egos out of the way, I'm like, you know, I'm right and you're wrong and blah, 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 blah. Like, we hate to say it, but a lot of people are transitioning over to Team Trump because they're realizing like he's not doing all this to just get you all riled up. He's literally restructuring our whole web of a new system. Yeah. I'm like, how could you not like that? You know, I mean, I think it's, and I love all the children jumping on now too. They're like, yeah, Team Trump. It's amazing.
My very favorite things ever is like all the videos, all the reels that I scroll through and watch, the ones where Charlie Kirk is at all of these college campuses, or the ones at all these college campuses whenever there's like revivals and there are huge amounts of students and they're baptizing each other and they're praising and they're reading scripture and they're doing all these things, and it puts a stamp on everything that I know myself and so many of my friends in, you know, Patriot family have been saying all of this time. It really is a spiritual warfare, and I think finally,
my spine is tingling as we speak.
Finally,
right now, as
I think
that.
America is coming back to being in the center of family, God, and the foundations that our country was founded on. I'm going to send you a picture. I know that he was in the comments earlier today, a picture that Michael is promoting right now, the Commander's Artist. For all of you guys that have been to any of the Reawaken tours, you will absolutely love this, Sharon. So I'll send it to you after. I don't know that I'm allowed to share it publicly, but I'll send it to you.
Oh, I love it. Wink, wink. I would love to read that. And, you know, can I just add one thing on that with the kids at the universities in Charlotte? I love it, and I've seen some of those. And the thing that I love, and I feel like everyone is starting to recognize, is you look at those teenagers, those young adults and so forth, and they're all there supporting and loving each other. And then you got the yucky like part of where they're all like, those MAGA and these kids, but they're acting trashy. Like when I look at their behaviors and the way that they talk to people and so forth, I feel like a lot of people that are on Team Jesus, Team Trump, and so forth, is that they're classy. They're just posting information for you to ponder and use your own mind and your own discernment. But it's interesting how there's way less comments from people debating it, because now they're finding out if they had only done their homework about 5 years ago, they would understand what's really happening behind the scenes. And who wants their kids to act trashy like that? Like picking on people because of politics and because they love God and so forth. I'm like, you need an attitude adjustment. Come on, join us. If you want to throw, just put away those judgments. We won't judge you, and come on in. That's what this is all about. So I'm excited. So I love that you said that. Yeah. It's going to be amazing. Can you feel it? Oh,
Yeah,
you're frozen
no.
on me. Oh, there you are. Okay.
I love everything that we've spoken about, everything
Thank
that
you
you're
so
doing
much,
with the
Courtney.
Utah Thinking Tank, everything that we can both see. And I know that all of our audiences are seeing as well right now that's happening. It really doesn't feel like it's been almost an hour of us talking. We definitely need to connect more often, I think. I love our
know. I
episodes together.
miss you. I love chatting with you. And thank you for always being there for me offline, is in, for everyone else that we've kind of grown our own little hub of really good people. And I want to thank you for that and bringing people together.
I would love,
thank you.
absolutely. It's so funny. All of these people that I've met at these, like the Reawaken tours, that were strangers before, they've literally become like brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Some closer than family. And that's absolutely fine. And I love that we've become all so close. But I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I would absolutely love if you could end our episode in prayer.
Oh, okay. It's Good Friday. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for awakening me. My life was so stagnant and boring and hamster wheel until I started listening to those little voices. And I feel like the rest of Courtney's audience can totally understand that feeling. And they are so glad. They are so proud to walk right alongside of you, representing your word and doing your work and helping those people that are suffering and helping those people that berated them, that cut family and friend ties over politics. We're here to help them. We can put our egos aside. We can help them, baby steps, and allow them to go on the same journey that we've been going down, so we can finally unite as one, as we all on all sides speak about. It's about time. Let's give thanks to Jesus, our Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. That was wonderfully, wonderfully said. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching live, I appreciate all your comments on X, on Facebook, on the podcast, Facebook. If you're watching this on replay, let us know that you're watching it on replay. Share this with one friend.
Yes. I'd love that if you could ask them. Yeah. And if anyone has any questions, please, if this resonates with you and what we're doing here in Utah, PM me, Rhonda. Let's talk. Let's get the ball rolling, because this should not be all on one person. It should be a collective where we all join in the fun and restructuring our communities. So thank you, Courtney.
Absolutely. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you. God bless this country. And together we're Patriots strong. Bye, guys.